Guten Tag and welcome to the Watch Kaki channel, where we bring you all the good and honest watch reviews. If this is your first time to my YouTube channel, please click the subscribe button. Hang around because we have reviews coming up every week for you. If this is not your first time here, if you're a regular to my YouTube channel by now, you should know what to do. Click the subscribe button. For today's video, we are going to spend some time to look at this watch, the Nomos Tangente. And I really consider the Nomos Tangente as one of the iconic watches to come out from this brand. It is a really small watch at 35mm, but don't be mistaken, this is a really small watch and it packs a serious punch. A quick backstory on this watch: I bought this one about 3 years back for somebody as a gift, and that somebody, she's been enjoying the watch. She really likes the watch. She's been wearing it regularly in her rotation. I would say it gets worn about twice a week. Now the irony is, this person who's been enjoying the watch, she has been telling me to stop buying watches for the new year. Well, I guess we have a really hard life. The Nomos Tangente has a case size of 35mm. It's got a really thin profile. The case thickness is only 6.7mm. Its lug width is 18mm. It's got a lug length of 45.3mm. It is important to note that the Nomos Tangente is almost all dial because it's got a crystal or dial size of 32mm against the 35mm case. So you're looking at the watch face on, you're looking at just a dial with a very thin bezel. Powering the watch is the in-house Alpha caliber, which is hand wound and it's got a 42-hour power reserve. Just take a look at this beautiful movement. The Tangente 35 currently retails at Singapore dollars 2,880. I would say that's a cracking deal, fantastic deal for a watch with in-house movement. There's an option to purchase the watch with a stainless steel case back, and that one goes for about 400 to 500 less than the one with a display case back shown here. But really, I see very few reasons why anyone would purchase this watch with a stainless steel case back. I mean, just take a look at the movement. It's really beautiful with all the stripes, the stripings, the sunburst on the wheels, and the pelage just under the balance wheel here. Let's go on to the design of the Nomos Tangente. Now I know out there's been plenty of debate as to who really started this Bauhaus design watch. Now, we're not going to talk about that today. It doesn't matter who started or who copied. It doesn't really matter. We are more concerned about how iconic the Nomos Tangente is. Now, to me especially, this watch has got a bucket load of iconic design features. Let's start with the dial. There's so much to talk about this dial here. It is silver plated, but it is not done in the cheap, shiny type of silver. Instead, it is done in a powdery type of a powder coated type of look. And in some angles, certain angles or certain lightings, it actually looks white, pearl white or off-white. Then you've got a small second hands counter at the 6 o'clock area. I think this is affectionately known as KS or Kleiner Sekunda. Please forgive me if I pronounce that wrongly. Now it means small second hand, and the small second hand is done in a recessed area and it's got concentric circles running along the subdial. Now next, we really need to talk about those distinct Bauhaus type of typography going on at the hour markers. We've got 12, 2, 4, 8 and 10 done in a very iconic Bauhaus type of typography, and hours 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and 11, they're just using a stick marker. Now this actually declutters the dial somewhat. Quite like this way of alternating the numbers. And then you've got the minute markers track, so you get precise timing when you set time. And then you've got minimal script on the dial. You have the Nomos plus footer for the brand. And then at the 6 o'clock area, you have those 3 words here. You will see the watch is made in Germany. Now we also need to talk about those hands, those beautiful blue hands. The hands of this watch, the hour hand, minute hand, second hand, they're all heated to blue. Alright, it's a process where they heat the metal until it turns blue, and in certain angle and certain light they actually look black. And then you tilt the watch, you get to see that the watch hands are actually blue. Very beautiful. It makes this watch stand out and it's just a joy to look at. Now the combination of all those cool features I've just mentioned, together with the fact that This watch is all dial, makes the watch very easy to read. It's very, very legible. Let's go on to the design of the watch case. The Nomos Tangente has a 3-piece case. It's got a mid case, bezel, and it's got a case back. If you take a look at the watch face on, the first thing, of course, you will notice the very thin bezel. It's only about 1.5 millimeters on each side. And the next thing you will note is the really thin and long lugs. If I'm not wrong, the lugs are the same thickness as the bezel. It's only about 1.5 millimeters. And if you take a look at the side, the watch, you will notice that the lugs doesn't curve out. In fact, they are very angular along the watch case. This watch case here has also got a very angular look. It's got no curves. It goes up and it's almost perpendicular. So it gives the watch a very much thicker appearance than what the actual thinness or the thickness suggests. The Tangente has a relatively small crown to match the overall size of the watch. But even though the crown is very small, it's got enough height for you to wind the watch very comfortably. You can listen to how crisp the winding is. This watch is such a pleasure to wind. Now we look at the case back design. Now this being an older watch, it's got more text going on at the case back. The newer models now tend to have very little text going on. I think it just says Nomos Tangente and that's about it. Now here we've got information like water resistance, which is 30 meters. And then I think it tells you that it's made from stainless steel, at the style. And really, just take a look at the beautiful movement. It's got inscription of the Nomos Glashütte brand. I think this is done in gold inscription. Just totally beautiful. So here we get to see a close-up shot of the movement. I really have to apologize for the poor quality of the lens, but this is the only way I could show you how intricate the movement is decorated. Now you can see the lines, the really beautiful engravings, and the colored rubies, right? And actually under the balance wheel, there's also pelage going on, and of course the gold plated parts. The Tangente 35 originally came on a black cordovan strap, and I would say it's good quality, but unfortunately it doesn't work so well for our hot and humid weather here, so it's been replaced by a Hirsch James, which has a rubber lining. So I won't talk too much about the strap since this is a non-original part. So the overall build quality of the Nomos Tangente, I would say it's very good for the price you're paying. For under 3,000 Singapore dollars, you're getting a watch with in-house movement. You're getting a case that is of very good quality, although we don't know who the manufacturer is. Let's do a size comparison between the Nomos Tangente and another popular German watch. I have with me on my right hand the Sinn 556i. So these two watches, one look, you know the Sinn is the bigger watch. It's got a bigger case diameter, it's got thicker lugs, it's got thicker bezel. But then again, if you look at the dial sizes, you'll notice that the crystal size, the dial size is very much the same. Both watches have about 32 millimeters dial size. So in terms of looking at the dial, they're pretty much the same. But if you consider other factors such as case size, case thickness, then immediately you will know how small the Nomos Tangente actually is. It's got a 35mm case size and it's really thin, as you can see here from the comparison. This watch, the Sinn, is about 11mm and the Nomos Tangente on my left is only about 6.7mm. And here's a wrist shot of the Nomos Tangente 35 on my 6.8-inch wrist. That's about 17 centimeters for you. As you can see here from the wrist shot, the watch is sized perfectly for me as a dress watch. I really find the watch very comfortable to wear. It is so thin, I don't even feel that I'm wearing a watch. It looks very elegant. Now there are a few things that I don't like about the fit of this watch. Firstly, the lugs, they are very long. They make the watch really long overall. And I don't really like the 18mm lug width. I find that this makes the strap a bit too slim, a bit too dainty for my liking. So I would say that this watch is an excellent choice if you're looking to get into the world of in-house movement without paying a lot of money. For under 3,000 Singapore dollars, you're getting lots and lots of design features that will make you very happy. Now first we look at the dial. It's got that silver powdery finish to it. Very sublime. And then of course you get the iconic fonts, the distinct Bauhaus fonts on the dial. very legible dial. And lastly, you get that beautiful blued hands, the blue steel hands. They are flame to blue. And there's some aspects of this watch that I hope Nomos would have done it differently. Firstly is the case back construction, or rather how the case back is being held down. So you can see here there's no screws or no signs of it being a screw down case back. It does look like the case back is just fitted in, and I'm sure this has affected the water resistance. Currently it's rated at 30 meters water resistance. I'm sure if you use a screw down case back, there will be a higher water resistance. Next, for all the beauty and the splendor of the movement is actually quite noisy when it's working. What I mean is when the watch is ticking away, you can actually hear it ticking very loudly. Now this happens very evidently when you're in the cinema or you're on your own in driving in a car. You can really hear the ticking and it's pretty loud. So there you have it, the Nomos Tangente 35. This is a great looking watch with all the cool features on the dial. We've got the blue hands, powdery silver dial, and of course the iconic Bauhaus type of font going on. And of course when you turn around, you get to see the beautiful movement. Now this movement is so good looking that I'll wear the watch inside out. There are some niggles here and there, but these are no big problems, and they certainly do not take away the fact that this is a great watch. So don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I thank you for that. George thanks you for that. I'm the Watch Kaki. I'll see you next week. Auf Wiedersehen. Guten Tag. Das ist die Uhren Nomos Tangente 35. Now I got this watch as a gift for somebody. I don't know who that somebody is, but she's looking at me right now. Ja, das ist In-House Movement. In-House Movement. Sehr gut.